This is the Scrap Metal Commodities Recycling Report by BENLEE, Roll-Off Lugger, and Open-Top Trailers, and Raleigh Goldsboro Metal Recycling, June 27, 2016. In this report, many commodities declined as the British voted last Friday to leave the EU, the economic union. This Brexit, British exit, caused stock markets around the world to lose about $2 trillion in value, which was the largest one-day loss in global history. As we film this report this morning, on Monday, markets around the world are due to fall again. U.S. steel production came down a bit last week, but remains near a fairly strong 16-month high. Tariffs on foreign steel and a good yet slow growth U.S. have U.S. steel mills doing actually fairly well. Oil prices rose midweek to near multi-month highs, but finished the week down along with other commodities. The oil rig count, after 3 weeks of increases, came down a bit last week and remains down a staggering 79% from about 19 months ago. The only good news here is that the dramatic drop in the use of steel for these rigs has somewhat stabilized. Scrap ferrous prices stabilized last week, yet some scrap yards have lowered prices in recent days due to expectation of lower scrap prices next week. Low volumes of scrap exports could be a reason for lower prices. Another reason for lower scrap prices at yards is in some markets, low profit margins have dramatically hurt scrap yards. Yards are looking to increase profits and in some cases return to profitability by lowering prices. Lastly, the high volume of cars and demolition scrap that sat for a year in some markets due to low prices has now mostly found their way to market to scrap yards and steel mills. These volumes are now declining, which could help stabilize prices. U.S. hot rolled coil steel is at an 18-month high. There is at least one report that this is the current peak and there could be a decline coming. 3 or 4 stainless scrap prices remain unchanged, but with other prices falling at weekend, stainless could fall this week. Copper rose for much of the week to hit a new multi-month high, but on Friday, copper fell hard. When looking at copper pricing on this one-year chart, we see it really has been in a fairly tight range since last November. Aluminum finished the week lower as well when looking at this 30-day chart. Yet when looking at the 5-year chart, we see a bit of a trend up in recent months. Global aluminum LME inventories in the warehouses on this 5-year chart, as reported, shows inventories continue to fall. Aluminum inventories are now about half of what they were a few years ago, which could bring continued upward price pressure and/or higher production that could actually lower prices. Commercial Metal Corporation reported lower earnings last week, but while still operating at a loss, their recycling operations improved. Importantly, CMC reported that they see strong demand in areas like construction. Looking at this 10-year chart of home sales, we see that there was a slight decline last month, but the good news is it has been trending up for years. When looking at this 55-year chart, it shows how serious the housing crash was. New home sales remain less than half of what they were in about 2007. Huge student debt for college is a major reason for this. Young people do not have down payments or cash flow to pay for new homes. Initial jobless claims came down a bit to the lowest level in about 8 weeks, which is good, in that job growth in the U.S. has slowed in recent months. Second quarter new job creation has been much lower than the first 3 months of the year, so initial jobless claims are a key measure. A new graph for us is the Architectural Billing Index. Hiring architects is a solid leading indicator of new construction. Over 50 is growth, and the billings shown here in blue are the highest in about 9 months. Product of the week is BENLEE's Bridgemaster. This redesigned 80,000 GVW trailer weighs almost 9,000 pounds less than the standard conventional trailer, so it can carry almost 20% more weight than a conventional triaxle trailer. With that, we hope all have a safe and profitable week. My name is Greg Brown.